So, you're thinking about moving to North Vancouver. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you the pros and the cons, the good and bad, of what it would be like to live at the foot of the North Shore Mountains. Don't worry, I'm going to be as objective as I can. And make sure to stick around to the very end, because I'm going to share some great perspective that's really going to help you dive into your needs to decide if North Vancouver is right for you. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about real estate in Vancouver, subscribe below. Tap the bell for notifications to be the first to learn what's going on in the current market. My name is Megan Becker, local realtor, eXp Realty. Myself and my team get calls every day from people looking to make this incredible area their home. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give me a call, text, or email, and I'm excited to tour you around the incredible Greater Vancouver area. Now let's get into North Vancouver. We'll talk about the pros first. Number one is it's very family friendly. There are a lot of families that move to this area because of the recreation, the schools, the amenities, the way the community is set up. There's a lot of older areas in North Vancouver as far as real estate goes that have these larger lots, older homes, larger streets that are tree lined, lending itself to a great area to raise a family. There's tons of recreational opportunities throughout the city for kids, and it's generally considered a safe area. Number two, which is my favorite, is the mountains. And this lends itself to the recreational activities and just the pure beauty of it all. I don't know about you, maybe put it in the comments. Is there something so therapeutic about being able to stare out your window or even sit down in a park and just stare at snow-capped mountains? It does something for me. If I'm stressed out or anything like that, I can just step outside in nature and look at mountains and all of a sudden problems disappear. Maybe not quite like that, but there is some therapeutic benefits, I believe anyways. But let's dive back into pro number two, being the mountains here. So there is a ton of recreational opportunities. So whether you want to be right at the base of the North Shore Mountains and head up and do some mountain biking at Mount Frome, or you want to head up and hike the Grouse Grind, or you want to ski or snowboard on Grouse or Seymour or Cypress. You've got tons of mountains that are available for winter activities, summer activities, and everything in between. One of the things I love doing is hiking up Seymour in the morning and catching the sunrise. Starting off when it's pitch black, you've got headlamps on, and we'll hike up and we'll catch the sunrise in the east there. Or if you're not a sunrise person, but you love a good sunset, you can head over to Cypress, and you can either do this in the winter, you can head up on the ski hill, or you can do this in the summer, you can hike up and you can catch the sunset to the west. So there's so many opportunities that are right at your fingertips. All my friends that live in North Vancouver love being in that proximity. I have multiple friends that love the fact that they can be in the mountains. They don't even have to go in their vehicle. They can jump on their mountain bike from their house. Maybe it's a 10-15 minute ride to the base and they're in the trails mountain biking after work. Or heading out, taking your gym clothes or your running gear to work, changing there, and doing a trail run as your commute home. I mean, talk about the lifestyle there. There's other areas like Lynn Canyon or Cypress Falls if you want to go up and maybe do a cold plunge, or you want to just have a quiet, secluded hike along the water. One of the things I really enjoy doing, especially in the winter, because it does get kind of dreary. There is a lot of rain here, and so it sometimes can get really gray, which gets to people, is I love going for hikes. Because one of the things, when it's raining, you might think hiking in the rain, not super fun. And I mean, I don't love being drenched, but the cool part about hiking in the rain is if you find a spot that is really treed in, and I found some of these areas like Grouse Mountain, like the Grouse Grind, or there's a trail by Cypress Falls, it's very treed in that I really like doing. And when it's pouring rain, the trees almost shelter you. So you get like a little bit of a mist from the rain, but you're very sheltered. And if you want something a little more extravagant of an adventure, you are so close to Highway 1. You can head up to Whistler, you can head up to Squamish, or you can have easy access to the Horseshoe Bay ferries if you want to head over to Nanaimo or the Sunshine Coast for other adventures. And then you've got an area like Deep Cove, which you can do paddleboarding or rent kayaks there. It's a really great place, especially in the summertime, in the morning, because you get the sun coming up there. So tons and tons of stuff to do as far as recreational activities, regardless of what age you're at. And pro number 3 about North Vancouver is you have all of the amenities. You have big box stores, you have mom and pop stores, you've got tons of different restaurants. There's Lower Lonsdale and the Key, which attracts itself to more of a popular destination if you want kind of a cool hangout spot. But even up into the northern part of North Vancouver, there's tons of amenities, grocery stores, shopping complexes, everything like that. And number 4 is the Seabus. I really love this. So the Seabus is a form of public transportation here in Vancouver. It takes you across the Burrard Inlet, at least from Lonsdale Quay, and it's a 12-minute ferry ride. It's a passenger ferry, and it takes you to downtown Vancouver. So I actually have clients who they work downtown Vancouver, but they love the lifestyle of North Vancouver. They're in the mountains all the time. They are up in Whistler, they're up in Squamish, they mountain bike, all of that. And so because of the bridges, they wanted to eliminate the bridge commute. So they actually decided to purchase a place in Lower Lonsdale, and they commute to downtown. And they take a boat to work every single day. Well, the Seabus. And it's a really great form of public transportation that allows that North Shore lifestyle get downtown Vancouver working. Pro number 5 is the proximity to Squamish, Whistler, and Pemberton. If you love golf or skiing or hiking or mountain climbing, anything like that, living in North Vancouver and having that easy access onto Highway 1 without any bridges is huge. So let me paint you a little picture here. One of the things that I always say, if it's raining in the city, it's snowing in the mountains. And on numerous occasions, we've seen forecasts for rain and it's been, let's just say a Tuesday or a Wednesday. If you have the flexibility in your schedule to take a work from home day or a recreational day, or I call it whatever you want day, and head up to the mountains, that is huge. And I know I have a lot of friends who do that. I've done that a few times because as much as I love Whistler, I don't love Whistler on the weekends when everybody else is there because you're paying all this money to go ski and snowboard or whatever, and you want to eliminate the lines as much as possible. So that is one of the advantages of living on the North Shore, is it just makes it super easily accessible to get up to Whistler and back if you want to make that day trip or a last minute trip. And sometimes that Sea to Sky Highway can get pretty backed up if there's any adverse weather or any type of accidents. So living in really close proximity to that is a huge plus for somebody that loves being in the outdoors in those areas. Okay, let's move on to the cons. Con number 1 is the commute times and congestion with traffic. So with North Vancouver, there's really 2 main through roads that run east to west. You've got Highway 1 and then Marine Drive. And there's typical times of day that certain areas on these roads get very congested. One of my friends lived at the corner on Highway 1 right before it turned south going over the Ironworkers Bridge. And she said, like, without a T, in evening rush hour, that turn is backed up for hours. And so understanding the traffic patterns is going to be huge if you are commuting, especially with the bridges. But because there aren't a ton of main arteries throughout the city, it can get very backed up in rush hour in busy times. So the best thing is knowing and understanding when are you going to be commuting, where are you going to be commuting to, and then jumping on to Google. You can actually put in your destination and where you're traveling from and select the time that you want to arrive, and Google is going to estimate what traffic is like that at that time of day, which is a super handy tool that I use all the time. Con number 2 is the bridges. So you've got 2 bridges that connect North Vancouver to the mainland. You've got the Lionsgate Bridge on the west side, and then you've got the Ironworkers Bridge on the east side. So at busy times in rush hour, these bridges can get very backed up. And if there's any issue, construction, accidents, or anything of the sort, you can get stuck for hours. What could be a 20-minute trip could turn into over an hour. Oftentimes, I live downtown, And oftentimes I'll go hiking and I'll meet friends early morning on the North Shore. We'll do a hike like the Grouse Grind or at Seymour or somewhere, and it'll take me like 20 minutes to get over there. But sometimes if there's any types of traffic, especially I find it oddly enough, getting into downtown on a Saturday, like Saturday afternoon, evening, can take over an hour depending where I'm coming from or the time of day. So just understanding the bridge. I know the bridges are a determining factor for a lot of people, that they don't live on the North Shore because of that. I know for me personally right now, with being in real estate and where I do a bulk of my business, is I don't want to spend that time in a commute there. And so it's knowing your lifestyle and what you are willing to sacrifice. I know some people who, again, they just love that lifestyle. They found a property that was in their budget over on the North Shore, but they work downtown. And they figured out, they just made it work. And they had a flexible of enough schedule that they didn't have to commute in the traditional rush hour times. But again, that was a sacrifice that they wanted to make. They found a home that was in the budget. It led to their lifestyle, and the commute was just something that they had to sacrifice on. So it's really understanding that. But like I said, I do know a lot of people who just, North Vancouver is off the list because of the bridges. Con number 3 is the weather. It does rain a lot here in the Greater Vancouver area, and it's even more on the North Shore. So Vancouver gets about 1,600 millimeters of rain per year, and North Vancouver actually gets 2,000 millimeters. Basically what's happening is the clouds are coming off the mountains, and I'm not a weather person whatsoever. I don't understand exactly what happened, but that is the reason why the weather is a little bit more rainy there on the North Shore, especially in areas like Deep Cove. It does rain a lot, and it is a little bit darker there generally than in other areas of the Greater Vancouver area. So something to be aware of. Number 4 is the high cost of real estate and just cost of living in general. So benchmark sale price at the time of this recording for single family homes in North Vancouver is just under 2.3 million. Townhomes are just under 1.4 million, and condos are 823,000. Especially for a single family home, this is some of the highest in the entire Greater Vancouver area. And con number 5 is the limited nightlife. So I mentioned the area like the shipyards, the Lonsdale Quay there. Those are the most kind of happening areas. You've got bars, restaurants, pubs, things like that. But really, there is not a lot of nightlife, or if you're kind of in that young, want to party and go out stage in life, North Vancouver might not be the best area there. You might want to find something more in like the Yaletown, downtown area, but that is a drawback of North Vancouver. You definitely have access to higher end restaurants for more of those kind of fancy nights. But if you're looking to, have a couple drinks and go out and party and have a night like that, you're probably going to have to head over to downtown Vancouver. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on North Vancouver? Do you think it's worth it? Do the pros outweigh the cons for you? Or maybe do the cons outweigh the pros? And do you live in another area? But I'd love, if you live in North Vancouver, put it in the comments. What are some of the things that you love about the area? What are some of the things maybe that I haven't mentioned that you would have wanted to know before you called North Vancouver home? And thanks for sticking around to the very end here. So here's the perspective that I share with clients is, you need to understand your lifestyle and your goals and your budget, and really figuring that first and then working backwards. That's why I start all of my real estate conversations with an initial consult with you, because I want to understand your goals. What are you trying to achieve? And really, what's your lifestyle like? Because then I can better match a property in an area that is really going to reflect you. Because real estate's more than just 2 bedrooms and 2 baths in a cool area. It should be a reflection of your lifestyle and your financial goals. And so understanding that and understanding how to match an area, I like to call myself a real estate matchmaker. So I hope that this video provided value and can really help unpack North Vancouver for you so that you can decide, would this make a great home for you? And if you're curious about North Vancouver or any area in the Greater Vancouver area, all my info is in the description box below. I would love to have the conversation. And until next time, a new udon place actually just opened up a few months ago, and I have yet to check it out. And it's 2 blocks from my place, so I'm gonna go check it out for dinner.